Good New Year's Eve on this football Friday night, baby, as the Fighting Jim Harbaughs and the Michigan Wolverines look to knock down a henchman for the criminal gangster cartel in Miami, Florida in the Orange Bowl, as the second-ranked Wolverines and the Fighting Jim Harbaughs take on the third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs and the Kirby Smart criminal gangster cartel henchmen for the Ohio State University, brother, as the henchmen themselves couldn't get the job done, and they're sending out their gangsters and thugs from Georgia to take on the Fighting Wolverines and the explosive offense in Ann Arbor, Michigan, down in the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida tonight, as Michigan is a heavy underdog, even though they are the higher-seeded second-ranked Wolverines. We have a heavy 1,000 potatoes on the Michigan Wolverines tonight. We are shitting and spitting in the face of an 8.5-point underdog, Michigan, and we're taking the money line straight up over the Georgia Bulldogs, as we expect the Big Ten champions to knock down the second-placed SEC runner-ups to play for a national championship on January the 10th in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? That's what we think's going on today down in Miami in the Orange Bowl, as we expect the Fighting Wolverines to cash in to Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing a cool $3,000 to $4,000 profit with an easy Michigan victory, right? I expect the speed on the outside and the athleticism at the wide receiver position, the power backs with the speed options with Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards catching the ball in the backfield, hitting him up the middle with power with Hassan Haskins, and the play action and the creativity on offense from the Broyles Award-winning offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis. I think he's going to put his guys in a great spot for success tonight to get one-on-one matchups with a Georgia defense that's stout, but when tested, had weaknesses on the outside and down the field in space. And I think Michigan's going to exploit that time and time again with great play calling, feeding with the counter plays off their base plays. And I think they're going to hit them for big plays today. And I think they're going to shoot a 37-24 Michigan victory in the Orange Bowl in Miami, as the second-ranked Wolverines capture the Orange Bowl championship and a playoff semifinal victory at a plus 240 major underdog in Vegas. Cash is in for Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, and we party our way on into the new year with the Michigan victory in the Orange Bowl, right? If we look at the coins real quick, as there's not going to be very many updates, as there's going to be heavy drinking tonight with a few updates, but heavy drinking and hopefully celebrating on into the evening and the overnight hours with a Michigan victory in the Orange Bowl, right? You can see Bitcoin right now has been holding pat on a holiday weekend with thinly traded. Most people are out getting their plans ready for this evening, right? Watching the Michigan football. You can see we're at the $42,000 support level. If you break that, you're coming down to about the $41,954 and then the $41,700, right? Those are your major support lines. Your major one today, if you break where you're at now at the 46,000, would be right down here at this beautiful double bottom right there at 41,769, right? So that's what's going on there. And the XRP, you can see it's the same thing. I think we're in the middle of this bearish consolidation pattern, as it's actually a head and shoulders bearish consolidation pattern in the old XRP, right? You can see that clearly on here, and I think we're forming the right shoulder. We're about 25% through the right shoulder, where we're going to be bouncing off of support and the white support box from 78 to 81, and then I'm looking for maybe an overshoot to 92 cents somewhere in the next 3 or 4 or 5 days. You can see where we're at now currently, and then once you break the neckline, I think your targeted move, it brings you right down to that double bottom from a couple weeks ago on the flash crypto crash that changed the structure of the market. And then I think you're going to come down here to the double bottom, and that coincides with that 57 cent bottom and the green fib circle support. So that's a great spot where I think XRP is going in the short to medium range, right? The next week to 10 days or a week to 2 weeks, right? And forming this right shoulder. So we're going to keep an eye on that tonight. And right now, before I'm into the heavy drinking, I got time to give you some in-depth updates with my head on my sane head. And now you can see we've actually broke down now since we talked about XLM. After this was the only coin pumping through the Christmas week when some of the other ones were dumping. Now this one's actually came back down below the 200-day moving average in the 3-hour time frame, and it's actually broke that critical blue ring now that it was holding above support at about the 27-cent level. And now you can see in a classic case, it came below it, bounced back up, back tested it as resistance, now failed it. So now you're going to come down here now in the next few days. You're going to trade your way down to this 24-cent mid-ground support, and then probably down here to the next underneath ring, which would now be in the current day over here, about 23 cents. So you're going to drop down initially to the 24.5-cent orange left to right horizontal line, and then you're going to come down to the 23-cent, right? And XLM, that looks to be a solid area where you're coming down to there. And then the altcoins we'll do on our next update. And you can see dent hasn't really done anything, but it's bearish because it's broken below the 200-day moving average. And now you can see beautifully it's acting as resistance right here. See, if we look at that, notice how once it broke below it, it was consolidating on it. Then it broke below it right here a little bit, right? And now you can see it's acting as overhead resistance, right? So I expect this to get knocked down and get forced down by the 200-day. And I think down here, Jerome and anybody else interested in dent is your next underneath target. And next week to 10 days is down here at the mid-ground of the shithouse again, right? So you want to steer clear of that and away from the collapse and destruction and the bloodbath that's going to ensue. And the dent on my next update, oh, my man, Falcon swap, bam! Your patience is paying off. Look at that. It came right up. Oh, what a great little thing. I'm so happy to see this, my subscriber. Falcon swap with a 42% pump. This would be a beautiful spot now to get your money back after a horrific crash. And you can see it bounced off beautifully off that support line to take advantage of this great pump. And if you can't consolidate and break up higher to one of the major box up here, right? That would be your major resistance up here that we've had. But I would not be counting on that. And this can be a great opportunity to break even now. Or if you've averaged down, a great opportunity to get into the profit as you're coming up to major overhead resistance in our first spot on a 40% pump that we called from the 19-cent line. So I'm going to put this video out so my man can see this. 40% pump in Falcon. If it holds the red, which is the 50-day moving average right here, I think we can get in from over here. If you can hold the red, which is the 50-day moving average right here, right? You can remain bullish, but if you break below that, you're bearish. But these like to get rejected and end up back down there. But if you can get above the 200 or the 100-day at right here at the about the 33-cent level, you can make a run up to here to major upper resistance. So sell zone 1, you're at. Sell zone 2, and where you should be out of is the 45-cent to the 55-cent if you can get up there. But you're at your initial sell zone to play a sell-off possibly right now after a huge pump, and that's what I think you're going to get. And then you can rebuy back in at a lower price. But we've had a phenomenal pump, just as we expected, from the 15-cent level all the way up to the 30-cent level. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.